What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be diving into something that haunts ENFPs, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. This fear of being trapped, not physically, but mentally. So let's break this down through the lens of cognitive functions. So first things first is we know that ENFPs lead with extroverted intuition. This is their dominant function. This is a explorative function that recognizes patterns. It thrives on potential and this possibility of what things could be. So for the ENFP, being trapped isn't just confined to a space. It means being confined to a single path, a singular road, stuck in repetition, or just chained to this predictability. And so this might be a 9-to-5 job with no room for creativity, a relationship where they can't evolve or express their true nature, or maybe it's an identity that's just forced upon them that doesn't allow internal redefinition. And this is because NE, the extroverted intuition, thrives off of expansion. Anything for the ENFP that appears limiting or restrictive is going to naturally make them feel very anxious. Now, behind NE is NI. This is the introverted feeling function, the auxiliary function for the ENFP. This serves as the ENFP's internal compass. FI isn't loud necessarily, but it's very deep. It subjugates authenticity, values, and this emotional alignment. So when an ENFP begins to feel like the walls are caving in, the ceiling is collapsing upon them, there isn't this panic in the sense that, there's this loss of control. It's what's actually happening is that there's this fear of betrayal to oneself that's actually beginning to become present. And what's happening here is FI is saying to the ENFP, if I stay in this situation for too long, am I still me? And this is because being trapped isn't just limiting, it can be a direct threat to the ENFP's very sense of self. Now, taking this a step further, under extreme stress, ENFPs can fall into this extroverted thinking, inferior sensing loop. So extroverted thinking is, let's make a plan, let's be efficient, let's get this done. Introverted sensing is, okay, well, let's repeat what's worked before, let's avoid risk, and let's maintain consistency. When the world demands performance, ENFPs may force themselves into these situations that might violate or contradict their NE FI core. And this is a byproduct of this self-doubt that's becoming apparent. And so over time, what happens is it creates this push and pull between, I hate this job, but it pays the bills. I'm not happy in this relationship, but I said that I would commit. The longer that they ignore this tension, the more trapped the ENFP is going to feel. And what's happening here is the TE-SI loop is beginning to override the natural, healthy NE-FI loop that is just slowly choking the life force from the ENFP. And it's interesting because the ENFP doesn't necessarily despise being alone. We all know that introverted feeling loves to be alone and to reflect and be introspective. But what's really happening is this fear of their shadow side, the TE-SI loop that no longer values the creative expansion or the permissionless mentality in which the NE-FI value. Now, eventually this TE-SI loop becomes so suffocating that ENFPs might ghost, they might burn bridges. So there's this noticeable withdrawal, and this is not because they're flaky, but because staying in this situation is just a soul death to them. And so what's happening is NE-FI is beginning to hijack the TE-SI loop and saying, no, we're going back to how things used to be, what worked for us, who we were before these things happened. And the irony of all this is ENFPs don't want chaos for the sake of chaos. They crave soul fulfillment, and whether consciously or not, will seek opportunities that speak to this inner part of them that is craving creativity, variety, new experience, and love. And this can look like chaos because within this chaotic network lies the pieces of the puzzle that the ENFP loves to create. And this is where they find meaning, and this is where they feel most alive, immersed in this lifelong pursuit of inner meaning through the lens of their external experiences. And so what they need isn't to reject all structure. What they need is to embrace the structure that they believe in, a career that aligns with their values and allows them to reinvent. A relationship that has room for growth and individual evolution. A life blueprint that allows flexibility, that allows the ability to pivot, that isn't just focused on efficiency and productivity. And so the mature ENFP learns that freedom without direction is just distraction, but direction without freedom is a cage. So closing thoughts here, guys. Being trapped for an ENFP is one of the deepest psychological threats that they can face, not because they're afraid of commitment, but because they're afraid of being misaligned.